Hey lads, the new season is now rolling at full speed. Week 2, now we actually get Vault. So I hope that you had a very good week in M+, exciting, learning the new dungeons, and you were successful. And a few things that I can say in the beginning of this week is keep pushing keys, try to do one as high as possible so you get this high level item in your vault, and then try to run lower keys that you feel comfortable with to fill in the rest of the slots in your vault. Also keep in mind that all the gear that drops now in M+, you can upgrade relatively easy. For the first upgrades you need the crests, and then you only need fly stones. So I kind of like the system so far. It's really good. Hopefully you feel the same way as well. Do let me know what you think about it in the comments below. And also you can check a video that I made on my channel ranking the dungeons right now based on their difficulty. So which one you should avoid and which ones are easier to spam for a higher score and gear, etc. So feel free to check that video. And having said that, let's first look in what is going to be next week. Fortified, that expected, entangling, and then bolstering. So let me start with entangling. This could be a little tricky, but so what happens if you remember the vines in Shadowland, which had like daily quests, etc. You get snared, and there's a vine basically that you have to pull away from a center. So there's a small circle, and you need to get out of this circle. You can dispel, you can shapeshift, you can free them, you can do all kinds of things like that, or you can just walk out of the circle to break that. Now you have to be careful with this one in some situations where it's hard to move, or you have to be careful not to move into another mechanic, but I think this is one of the okay-ish kind of affixes that they added this new season. We'll see how it plays out this week, but keep in mind that this will be on you all the time during trash, during bosses, so be aware and be prepared to start moving, no matter what class you're playing. The bolstering also got changed, so it's the same thing. When a trash mob dies, it buffs the nearby mobs for, I think it's 20 seconds, but the change they made is now it only buffs their damage, it doesn't buff the health. So you can still burst and DPS this mob down pretty quickly. You just have to be aware that it will be doing more damage. So, of course, as usual, the advice that I give on weeks like this, when it's bolstering and fortified, be aware that your tanks are in danger during trash pulls because mobs are doing more damage, especially when they're low, because then they're doing even more damage, right? So, be prepared to heal your tanks. Eventually, be prepared to, like, CC the mobs, snare them, etc. if the tank decides to kite, and during all that, you will be kind of handicapped by the entangling as well. But we'll see how the first Fortified week plays in these dungeons. Hopefully it's as much fun as the Tyrannical one that we had. And also keep in mind that as we get gear, as people learn the dungeons, everything will become easier eventually. Blizzard is also kind of helping by nerfing some of the really hard encounters in last week. So hopefully they'll continue to monitor and prevent some very hard trash pulls that, for example, we might see in Vortex Pinnacle, that comes to mind, Bracken Height, etc. Right? So we'll see how that actually plays out. Having said that, let me open my vault. So I did play my Pali and my Shaman last week. I opened the Paladin as Holy, of course. I only did a few dungeons on the Pali last week, so let's see what I get. So we get a Trinket with Haste, Future Self, losing Intellect for, okay, so this one is interesting. Tier 2 time and steal power from your future self, gaining Intellect for 20 seconds, then losing, this is tricky. It doesn't have Intellect on itself. It's a 2.5 minute cooldown. Yeah, that doesn't feel powerful. I can check it later, but that doesn't feel powerful. So Lex, which are going to prevent me from using my tier, but eventually I will be able to convert those to tier once the Catalyst comes out, which by the way is going to be somewhere mid-June. So there's plenty of time until then. There's like 3 or 4 weeks, so you might actually get all your tier by then, and the Catalyst might be useless for you. But that's something to consider. And then we got this ring, which is Crit Mastery. Not ideal stats, maybe okay-ish for raid, which is very bad situation, because I don't want to take the trinket. I don't want to take this. Let me see. What is it? The helm is the one that I don't have. Do I have a helm? Oh, okay. So I have a helm that I can use for the tier piece, and then I can use the legs to get the item level and the intellect from that. So I think this is what I'm going to do. Haste Mastery is not ideal for M+. It's not bad for raid. Crit Mastery Ring. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with these. Rock the helmet and then still keep my 4-piece bonus. You want to keep your 4-piece bonus as long as you can, but eventually you get new tier and this will break down. So let me do that very quickly. I'm not going to check on this trinket. It sounds really bad. Not having intellect and then losing intellect and so forth. Alright, so Holes of Infusion. This one was going to be fun. And let me check very quickly my Shaman as well. I did manage to get some higher keys on the Shaman. And again, even if you don't time the key, but you manage to complete it, this is going to affect your vault. And you're going to get the higher item level in there. I also got lucky, and I have 2 pieces on the Shaman right now from the new tier. And one thing that I forgot to mention, when you get to 2000 rating, which if you're running relatively high keys is achievable, during the second week. Some people actually got it during the first, right? If you're running really high keys. But I think if you run all 15s, maybe not even 15s, like half of your keys could be 14s on Fortified and Tyrannical, then you'll be very close, if not at 2k. So when you get to 2k rating, you actually get a free piece of tier, which is basically this token that you can exchange. Keep that until you have 3 pieces, because you can exchange that token for every of the 5 slots where the tier pieces go. And let's say you have, currently I have pants and chest. So let's say I get lucky in raid, I get gloves from one of the first bosses, then I can convert to either helm or shoulders and complete my 4-piece. So if you get that piece, hold on onto it, right? And then complete your set once you get all the other pieces. Now, I'm going to open as enhancement here, because this is what I am supposedly going to play in raid, fingers crossed, although I'm still healing in Mythic Plus, but it will be... Oh, okay. I think this is... So this is low item level, but I think this trinket is very powerful. So this is... I'm not sure who drops that. Resonate with power of your Sworn Dragonflight, granting secondary start. Allies from a different Dragonflight, whatever, they grant you more stat from that, and you attune to one of the stones. Okay, so let's check everything else. Very bad ring. This is actually low level gear as well, so very bad ring. There's a back crit verse, so this is not bad for healing. This is not bad for healing. Oof. Oh god, I got a weapon. I got a weapon. Oh, this is going to be a very hard choice. So this is actually not a bad weapon. It's one of the best for enhancement. This neck I have at 431 already. So I'll be able to upgrade this to... let me see, what's the highest level? So you can upgrade everything to 441 as long as you got it from a plus 17 or above. This is what I did with this trinket, right? So 444 is basically going to be just 3 level improvement on top of this trinket, which I will eventually upgrade. The weapon, though, I can upgrade the weapon to 441 as well. So I think I'll have to sim whether or not I want this weapon, or if that trinket turns out to be really powerful, which I think it will be, because the other thing about this trinket is I can use it for both enhancement and healing, right? So this is actually huge for that trinket. So although it's 231, again, this is something that you can upgrade, so I will be able to bump this trinket up to 441, basically, I think. So it's not going to be that much of a loss of an item level. So yeah, I think it's tricky, because if I get this, I can actually use both weapons, right? I'll have 2 weapons and a trinket. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sim this trinket, see how good it is, and also, of course, this trinket gets more power based on whether or not more people have it in the raid, which will eventually happen, but right now it's probably not the case. And I will make a decision based on whatever comes out of the simulation. All right, so hard choice, but I'm actually happy because this is not a crappy vault. You know, you have a choice, which means that there are some significant choices that you can pick from. Hopefully you get good votes too, and hopefully I'll see you on some of the YouTube videos or in my stream this week. I will be streaming my raid, hopefully playing an enhancement, maybe restoration there, maybe the paladin. We'll see how it goes. Have a good week, good luck in your keys, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Good luck and take care.